Welcome to Christian Trivia. My name's Brandon, and today we're going to be looking at the prophets in the Bible. A lot of great stories here, a lot of interesting things. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so we can do more videos like this. Here's question number 1. One of the first miracles that Elisha did was to curse some people. So how many bears came to attack those cursed people? Is it A, 7, B, 4, C, 10, or D, 2? And the answer is D, 2. Although the scripture reads as if it's children that are being attacked, many people believe that these are just people that were acting like children. Question number 2. Which prophet was commanded by God to marry a prostitute? Was it A, Hosea, B, Ahijah, C, Ezekiel, or D, Daniel? The more I read this story, the darker and darker it gets. Although it does prove God's point. And the answer is A, Hosea. This prophet was asked to marry a prostitute, and even his children were named things like not loved. Being a prophet was not very much fun. On to question number 3. How did Elijah hear from God on the mountain? Was it A, in the wind, B, in the earthquake, C, in a gentle whisper, or D, in a fire? And the answer is C, in a gentle whisper. Elijah was waiting for God in all of these other things, but only heard him in the whisper. Question number 4, and this one's a little bit of a bloody one. How many prophets of Baal did Elijah defeat? Was it A, 100, B, 450, C, 300, or D, 50? And the answer is B, 450. In total, there was actually 850 prophets here, 400 prophets of Asherah. But after this, Elijah actually killed all of these prophets. On to question number 5. So sorry about this one. This prophet was commanded to cook food over human excrement. Was it A, Elijah, B, Eber, C, Ezekiel, or D, Enoch? And the answer is C, Ezekiel. This is a weird story, but yes, he was commanded to cook food using that as fuel. Alright, as always, let's take a quick pit stop right here at question number 5. How are you guys doing so far? You feel like you're getting them all right? Well, as always, here's a reminder to like and subscribe. We always need help growing this channel, and it's up to you to do that. So thank you so much. Here's question number 6. This prophet preached barefoot and possibly naked for 3 years. Was it A, Isaiah, B, Jeremiah, C, Nahum, or D, Habakkuk? It is debated whether he was fully naked or had some sort of undergarments on. But the answer is actually A, Isaiah, one of the most prominent prophets that we know today. A true prophet would do whatever God asked him, including preaching for 3 years naked. That brings us to question number 7. The ghost of this prophet was summoned by an actual witch. Was it A, Haggai, B, Obadiah, C, Samuel, or D, Ezra? And the answer is C, Samuel. Saul, the king before David, tried to summon Samuel to have a conversation with him through this witch. It did not turn out so well. Question number 8. This lesser-known prophet rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem in a mere 52 days. Was it A, Menahem, B, Ezra, C, Jeremiah, or D, Nehemiah? And the answer is D, Nehemiah, one of the prophets who helped to rebuild after the exile. Here's your weekly fill in the blank with question number 9. Elijah prayed for a man's eyes to be opened. What did he see? Remember, this was right before a battle, so maybe that's a little bit of a hint for you. And the answer is horses and chariots of fire, or in other words, spiritual warriors. Elisha wasn't worried because he knew that God was on their side. And last but certainly not least, question number 10. This prophet confronted David about his sins. Was it A, Obed, B, Zechariah, C, Nathan, or D, Lamech? And the answer is C, Nathan. This is where we get the parable of the sheep, and it helps David understand exactly what he's done and how callous and, well, evil he's been. So that's it for the quiz. How did you guys do? Let us know in the comments below. We always love to hear exactly what your scores were and how everybody's doing. But make sure you check out these other videos like our Bible 101 quiz, and like and subscribe if we added any value for you today. Hope you guys have a great one. See you on the next one.